Hey guys, Lencac here. This is the next step in my project. I'm going to call it the M1 Rehabilitation project. What do you think of that? Or SOCOM 22. But at any rate, I got parts for it. I got most of the parts. I got barrels for it. I got 2 barrels because I wasn't sure which one I wanted to use. One of them is a National Match 22-inch barrel, 1 in 10 twist, and the other one I got is was made to a military spec. Like for instance, if you were to get a military-made, armory-made M14 National Match rifle, this barrel I got was built on those specifications. But it's a 1 in 12 twist, and in all honesty, I'm kind of inclined right now to use the 1 in 12 twist barrel. But nevertheless, I'm going to go through it and see how it all pans out. But I've got some stuff here I want to show you and kind of give you an idea where I'm at on this. All right, guys, this is what I have to work with here. As you can see, I've got the Archangel stock, which I previously had put on the SOCOM with the 16-inch barrel. And I've got barrels here. I just wanted to show you, give you guys a little comparison between these things. But as you can see, this is a standard issue barrel right here. And these 2 are National Match barrels. There's some differences in them. And this is the 16-inch SOCOM barrel. As you can see, the National Match ones have quite a bit different contour to them. They're quite a bit heavier. They're heavier all the way through here, all the way out to here. And of course, obviously, unless you're using a larger op rod guide, this portion of the barrel has to be a particular thickness. It looks like now the difference is this is an LRB 1 in 10 twist National Match barrel. And this is the same barrel except stainless ones I put on the 2 other ones I built. Same barrel though, other than the stainless steel part. And now this is a mil spec. This was LRB, but it was built to the blueprints of the rifle that the military armories would have used if they were building an M14 National Match rifle. And what I see about it is it looks like it's a little bit heavier through here. It extends out a little bit further, and like I say, this is a 1 in 12 twist. This is a 1 in 10 twist. I'm inclined to use the 1 in 12 twist because I'm curious to see how it performs. And my guy wants to put it back as much as he can to what would have been a real M14 National Match rifle, minus the full auto, of course, that sort of thing. But here's our receiver that we got in the bolt that I stripped down, and your spring and op rod, gas cylinder for it, and the flash hider, flash suppressor, and there's a couple things I'm going to replace. Now the trigger on this, for whatever reason, is really nice. I don't know if somebody's worked on this thing a little bit or what, but in all honesty, this SOCOM originally was got years ago from John Noveski. This is one of John Noveski's personal rifles. And my guy was good friends with John Noveski, and so my buddy got this from John Noveski. But anyways, I wonder if he's done some work on this trigger because it's pretty nice, unlike some of them that are heavy and creepy, But so there's some National Match parts I want to replace still when I get done putting the barrel on. One is the spring guide. I'm going to replace it with a National Match, probably a Sadlac. And the flash hider, I'm going to put a National Match flash hider on it because the opening is a little bit bigger on it to ensure that the round doesn't interfere with the flash hider. And then, of course, I'm going to put some National Match sights on it. And then that should pretty much fill it out, and hopefully she'll perform adequately to be a good shooting rifle. But at any rate, guys, that's where I'm at on it right now. I got my 2 barrels I wanted to look through. Like I say, I think I'm going to use the 1 in 12 twist, and I think that's about it. The next installment of this hopefully will be a video of me installing the barrel on the receiver. All right, guys, this is I think my first step in getting this barrel put on the receiver. And as you can see, I've got the barrel mounted in my barrel vise here, and I've got this attachment put on the front of it. You have to have the flash hider installed but no sight, and then this mounts on to the sight mount, and so you need to get that level. That's how you tell it's level. And as you can see, it is that the barrel is level on in the vise. And so then I hand screwed on the receiver, give it hand tight, because I'm curious to see how many degrees of rotation I have to go. Should be somewhere around, I've seen them as high as 38 degrees, but they should be somewhere in the 25 to 30 range, typically, I think, is my understanding of it. And if you look, we are about 28 degrees right there, so that's good. That's how much I have to, this has to be rotated until that gets to 0 to match the front. And so that's what they call timing the barrel. So at any rate, that's step number 1. I just wanted to check and make sure that looks like we're all good to go, and I think we are. So the next step would be to, next step is to lube up the threads on the receiver. Make sure they're all good and lubed up. I got some anti-seize I'm going to put on it. And then I'll use my, of course, as you can see, I've got the attachment I got from, I think it was Midway, but for an M1 for the receiver. And then I made this bar. This is a chrome moly, 1.25 inch chrome moly rectangular stock, and this is what I do. And my thought with this is, I realize that most people will take a barrel wrench or whatever, and they'll just wrench it down. They'll just wrench it down on one side. But in my mind, I'm thinking it would be more advantageous if you could apply pressure evenly to both sides to get it tight. And so that's why I made this the way I did. And of course, being it's chrome moly tubing, if we need to, which I did before, you can put a couple extensions in the end of it to get a little extra leverage. But that's going to be the next step in this, is to get the receiver installed onto the barrel. As you can see, I put my wrench on it, my action wrench on it, and I've got this thing still. As you can see, we are still 0, and I've given it a firm snugging up. It's well into the crush space on the shoulder, and I've got it down now to about, 12, 13 degrees. And so we got to continue to turn this receiver clockwise until that goes to 0. But at this point, I'll need to put a couple of extensions in the end of it, like this here, to get some leverage. And of course, even an old worn out barrel like my old National Match stainless M1 barrel from Springfield Armory, still useful as a pry bar, right? And so that's what we're going to do. But I gotta get somebody up here to, gotta go find somebody to help me twist this around a little bit, which shouldn't be a problem. We got to, so let's try it now. Okay. And you put some pressure on it up, not a lot. Okay. Okay, now a little more. More. Okay, let's see where we're at. So now we're about 8 degrees.
Okay.
Right?
Yep. Still got some more to go.
Yes, we do.
Well,
You ready?
we're ready. Okay.
Let's see that. Let's check that. About 6 degrees.
Okay.
More. Okay, let's take a look at that. We're about 5 degrees. Okay. We're about 3 degrees.
Okay.
All right, let's check something here.
Okay.
Make sure we didn't move over here. good there still. Okay, so where we're at now.
Yeah, we still got a little more to go.
Got a couple more to go here.
Okay.
Okay, so put some pressure on it.
Okay.
Let's see. Ooh, baby, what do you think?
That's really close.
It's real, just a tiny.
Just a hair
Let's
more.
make sure. Let's make sure. If this isn't exactly right,
Yeah.
what happens is you won't be able to zero the rear sight.
Oh, okay.
Put it zero because at this point we
Right.
need to move the front one to get it sighted.
That's right on the 0.
That is right on
We
zero.
need to go a little bit more.
Yep, just a pubic hair.
Okay.
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 There. Bam. Like it.
Yep, that's right on the money.
Bingo, huh?
Yep. Easy peasy. Teamwork makes the dream work.
I think we are. We are easily within like a quarter degree. Oh yeah. That's going to be spectacular. All right, as you saw, we got the barrel spun on to the receiver, got it indexed properly. And so my next step is I'm going to do some lapping on the bolt and receiver lugs to see if we can't get a good lock up there. And as you can see, I've got 3 different grits of abrasive here, 220, 320, 600. And I got some grease over here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to mix up a little concoction of grit and grease, and then I'm going to put them in there, and we're going to use this little guy I've made. Use this little guy, just a case that I split, and we put a spring in it, and that way I can take and put it in there like that, and like that, and we can take and put some, I'm going to mix up a little bit here of stuff. I'm going to go right to 320. Let's see where we go with 320. I'll eventually go down to 600 and do a final lapping of it that way. And now we're going to take some grease here. Okay. Let's mix that all up. Okay. All right, and now what I want to do is I want to spread some of this on the lugs here. I hope my GoPro is aimed halfway decent. And then here on that one. And I need to put some on the lug itself, the bolt lug. And we'll take and smear a little bit right there. And we put a little bit right there. Okay. Now we're going to take and put you back in. Like that. And now I got this guy here. And all we're going to do is we take and we're just going to work it like that a little bit at a time. Okay, let's make sure we still got stuff on the face of the lug, smeared around a little bit more. Okay. And I'll do this for a little while here. And then I'll eventually go and I'll work that in. Then I'll make some with 600 grit, and until I get a nice picture on the face of both sides of the lugs. So yeah, all right, that's where we're at on this. I'll come back to you when I get this thing where I want it. All right, guys, I did my thing with the abrasive compound there and my grit and all that stuff. You saw how I was doing that, and I've kind of already cleaned the stuff off of it. But this is what I'm looking for here on this. If you can see that, I am looking for contact on both lugs, which I now have. It was previously it was just a little bit. I can't remember which side, but it was just a little bit on the outside of one and on both sides. But now, as you can see, I've got quite a bit of contact on both sides, and it's kind of hard to see. But at least this lug here, you can see how it has how it pretty much seated into that lug, and this one over here, you can't really see it. I don't know if you can see that. I really can't. I can a little bit there. I don't think you'll be able to. But at any rate, that's what I got done doing, lapping the lugs into the receiver so that you make sure that you got contact on both sides of the lugs, on both lugs, and that there's a good surface, a good patch there that they come in contact with. So there you go. Now my next operation will be to use this little guy right here. This is the chamber reamer, and I got to get set up to start using this because, as you can see, with the I got this guy here. Let's see. This is the go gauge. This is the 1.6330 gauge, and put this in there. And what you're looking for is you want this bolt to just close on that, just barely close on it. And as you can see, it doesn't. So the chamber is still a little bit small, which was expected. It's the way it's supposed to be until it gets sized. But that's my next step, is to set up my tooling get this into the chamber and start getting it to size. So that's my next step. But for this video, there you go. I got my lugs lapped in, I got the barrel installed, and we're making progress here, guys. So the next one we do will be on getting this chamber to size.